Three. Hey everyone, Evan Kirstel here. I am live in Las Vegas with Krisp, a company we're going to dive into the world of noise cancellation, voice AI. What else, guys? We have a lot to talk about here at CCW. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks, Evan. Thanks for having us. We're really excited.
I'm excited as well. I've been using Krisp pretty much through the pandemic, and this isn't a paid endorsement, although I do a lot of that, just to be clear. Um, so, give us a little background on yourselves and the genesis of Krisp. Maybe you could start, Jake.
Sure. Yeah, I'm actually relatively new to Krisp. I've been here for about a half of a year. But one of the reasons I joined was just because of the compelling technology and the compelling value proposition. So I was pretty excited to be able to join. And when I started using the technology myself, I also became an advocate and now get the ability to work to support our mission, which is bringing voice productivity through AI to the market.
Fantastic.
So yeah.
Yeah, wonderful mission. It is kind of magical. We're going to jump into that. And David, maybe introduce yourself to the folks.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm David, co-founder and CEO. Um, so my background is engineering, and actually we built Crisp for ourselves. So that's what makes it very unique for us, right? So I'm happy to dig into that story as well.
Well, it's exciting and nothing like drinking your own champagne, as they say, when it comes to product development. So, you guys were ahead of this wave of excitement in AI. You were AI before it was cool, this whole generative AI wave. And Crisp, great name by the way, Crisp with a K. You're all over social media. I've seen you everywhere, but what is Crisp? How would you describe the service for those who maybe don't know you, Jake or David?
Yeah, I can go. Look, Crisp is a pretty simple application you can download for Windows and Mac. It the beauty of it is that it sits between your headset or microphone and the voice calling apps such as Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, and hundreds more of voice apps, right? And in real time, it eliminates background noise for you and for the participants, right? It uses AI to understand what's background noise and what's human voice and eliminate the noise from it. So that's what Crisp is most known for. We have hundreds of thousands of professionals using Crisp today for their daily voice communication. And also over 2,000 businesses have deployed Crisp internally for their employees to be more flexible and more productive when doing voice communication. And recently, we have also expanded our technology into two new areas. One is called accent localization, which in real time localizes the speaker's accent to
Wow.
the listener's accent in real time, yeah, and for better comprehension and understanding. And in real time, Crisp actually transcribes the meeting. That's the third technology. And at the end of the call, you can summarize your meeting in a beautiful and very smart way. So these are two new areas we are super, super excited about.
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on. I had to update the software because you have so many new features that I wanted to take advantage of, like transcription. And you also have a lot of integrations. You integrate with virtually every calling app, and natively, that's what's maybe different. Maybe describe the architecture because there are lots of cloud-based and built-in applications, but you take a kind of different approach. For example, on my MacBook here.
Yes, yes, that's exactly the beauty, right? Like, so Crisp integrates on the local like OS level. So it's a
Mm.
virtual microphone, virtual speaker. So virtually every voice app that supports changing the microphone and the speaker, you can just choose Crisp microphone and Crisp speaker, and that's it. That's the integration. So that's it's probably like one of probably the only app that does that architecturally in that way. So it means that it's compatible with all the voice apps, right? Now, any app you use, you can have noise cancellation, you can have meeting summaries. But the most important thing is it provides seamless UX, which means if you are in a call and you want to if you want to take notes or summarize this meeting, you don't have to include a bot, third-party bot, into the meeting, right? You can, which is a big deal. Like, it's awkward to add a bot. It comes earlier than you do, and people start talking to the bot without understanding it's not you. So we'll remove all that awkwardness. You just have to have Krisp on your laptop, and that's it. After this podcast, I'll be able to summarize this call with one click.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And put that into ChatGPT and have a blog out of it. So that's my goal here. So tell us, go back to the origin story.
I'm sorry, Evan. Actually, you don't have to edit to
Okay.
ChatGPT. You just click, and it does all that for you.
Automatically, even better. One step. That's fantastic. So go back to the origin story, because I'm intrigued about how you developed this for yourselves. What was that process like in turning it into a product for others?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was working at Twilio by the time. So
Okay, everyone knows. I love Jeff. Jeff's fantastic. I've had him on the podcast in the past.
I love Twilio. Yeah, still in love with them. So, and I'm originally from Armenia, so I used to travel a lot to Armenia, and like, background noise was always top of mind. I wanted some privacy when I was joining our calls, our like Pacific time morning calls from Armenia. And yeah, I always wanted to have a button that will remove background noise for me. So I shared that idea with my to-be co-founder, Artyo. And he got really excited. His background is PhD in math. And so, like, the team started working on this. It was still like a magic. Like, we didn't assume we're gonna be successful, but we took a risk. I left Twilio, so we started the company, and a team that never had audio experience but had a lot of math and physics, strong background, was able to crack this. So we brought this technology, we created, and then brought this to the industry. Still, like, very magical story.
Yeah, I'm a double E by background, so math and physics were two things I'm good at. But I wouldn't try to code. I'm sure there's a lot of pretty magical code in the device. So Jake, maybe we'll stop geeking out for a second and tell us about this marketplace, this category that's emerging for voice productivity AI. That's a lot more than noise canceling, which is pretty techy description.
Yeah.
And why are you here at CCW Customer Contact Week in particular?
Yeah, so maybe a little bit of background. I've spent a lot of time in various early stage ventures and startups. And for me, I always look at the compelling thing that's happening in the world that makes the solution viable and worthy of growth. And for Krisp, what I saw is, hey, more and more communication is happening this way, the way we're doing it right now, voice, right? Historically, more written text in a digital format, but we're moving to more and more voice communication, digital voice communication. And for me, that's the compelling thing that's happening in the market. How Krisp addresses that is very unique. Outside of the architecture, it really is about more effective digital voice communication. And that's a very compelling value prop. Why are we at CCW? Well, that value prop resonates with a very broad market, as you said before, obviously through the pandemic and remote work, but there's still a very bimodal hybrid workforce right now. And so broad application to enterprise businesses, especially for people that are in more externally facing roles, people in professional services, law firms, accountants, agencies, as well as anybody who has sales or a customer facing role. And so we have a pretty broad application in terms of the use cases. One of the most important use cases is around that customer experience, and specifically call centers and contact centers that are spending all their time with customer engagement. And we play a big role there in terms of noise reduction, voice clarity, voice fidelity, but now also more productivity related to those conversations. So to be able to actually document them, the transcription, and as David said, we're very excited about our new accent localization, which is really about listener comprehension challenge. And so we are making other non-native English accents more comprehensible for the listener. That's a very exciting technology. A problem that's a lot of money is spent on in the call and contact center arena. So very excited to be here at CCW to engage with all of our customers and hopefully some new customers too.
Yeah, that is exciting. There's a lot of money spent in our industry as well, generally on hardware. Obviously very expensive headphones and other devices in the network. You're potentially disrupting all of that with software. I mean, how big is that market?
Well, we think it's massive. It's a very large addressable market opportunity in the way that I described it, but really focusing in on those highest value use cases. As you mentioned, these headsets are very expensive. And so a lot of money is spent on that hardware because to do noise cancellation, to have high voice fidelity using hardware, it requires a lot of onboard technology, several microphones, several speakers to be able to do that. And and as we said before, right, this goes beyond just the voice clarity. And so it's really about doing much more than just the headset. So we think that's a very compelling value proposition, especially for call and contact centers who spend a lot of time training non-native English speakers, as an example, for off-sourced call centers. There's a lot of money that goes into that as well. So it's not just a hardware issue. So you look at the combination of those factors, and our TAM we look at is about $16 billion plus of addressable opportunity. So that's another really compelling piece of the growth story, is how much addressable opportunity there is.
That's fantastic. And David, I mean, you manage quite a big development team. Tell us about the skills that, you have AI and obviously mathematics, machine learning. You must be really ramping up in this space at the moment. Tell us about your plans over the next year or two.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the strengths, or the superpowers, as we call it internally, is our research team, right? So basically, I would say like Krisp is one of the leading companies in real-time voice AI, right? Which means optimizing voice AI technologies and run them in real time on user device, right? This is a very specific niche that we are highly specialized in. So every technology we bring in, be it noise cancellation, accent localization, or transcription, it runs on device, right? So like Krisp never sees the voice audio. That's great for privacy. And all this computation happens on device, which means that we need to squeeze these potentially large neural networks and run them on CPU, on ARM and Intel CPUs, right? So the very, very specific knowledge and expertise. And yeah, so like our mission, as Jake said, is like maximize voice productivity. And there are so many things we can do, like, right, starting from noise, accent, and then going into translation. Like one day, I imagine there will be on-device speech-to-speech translation inside Krisp, allowing you to, like cross the barrier of language. And that, having said that, as I already said, like we have entered in the NLP space as well. So we are seeing the content now, and we can do a lot of exciting things with the content. Summarization is one of them, but there is just a limitless sort of opportunity to create customer value and user value. And and our research team plays a significant role there.
Limitless opportunity, Jake. That's a pretty big mission for a CMO. Tell me, and you have this interesting go-to-market. I, as an end user, sort of solopreneur, downloaded it myself and use it a few bucks a month. And you'll continue the direct to consumer, but obviously you'll license to enterprises and beyond. Maybe OEMs can embed this on. Maybe Apple will want to buy you guys and just put it on their device at some point. What say you?
Yeah, that was another very compelling piece of the business. I was very impressed with the traction that Krisp has gotten through the previous years, but really is as kind of a diversified revenue stream across those three different streams. Really, one is the embed, as you said. We do have embed partners. We have an SDK, That's a significant business for us with significant opportunity to grow. We have the product-led growth, as you were saying. You can go out there, download it, and hopefully we'll add enough value that you'll convert to a paid plan. And then we have our enterprise go-to-market. And that's, as I said before, a really massive addressable opportunity. My job at this stage in the company as a CMO is really to identify the areas that are going to help us grow quickly, and also find that go-to-market fit so that we can drive scalable growth. And that's the stage that we're in right now, and identifying where we have the most attractive opportunities, and that's where we're investing in our go-to-market.
Fantastic. Well, you're in the right place at the right time. Hopefully next year you'll be running on my Apple Pro Vision, so I can tune out all the kids and dogs when I'm watching my movie in VR. But I won't get ahead of myself here. So what are you looking forward to this week at CCW? Obviously, lots of networking and customers and partners and beyond. What do you have planned over the next few weeks, David?
Yeah, we were actually finalists in CCW Disruptive Technologies yesterday.
Oh,
so
congratulations.
We were among them. So we had a really nice gala dinner.
I was there, yes.
And that was
very, very nice. Very, very fun keynote if for the folks who were there.
Yep. So look, we have our demos set up in our booth. We are it's the first time we're going to show up our accent localization technology, and the demo is just amazing. Like, if you have time to stop by and
I will.
How it sounds, yeah, that would be great. So we're going to meet a lot of customers, partners, and hopefully new customers as well. And that's, CCW is really a special event for us, so super excited. And then the next 3 months, actually, we have so much to ship. There is a very active road mapping happening right now. So we are entering our Q3, and the Q3 is going to be very exciting from product perspective, right? I'm overall super excited for the next 2 quarters.
Fantastic. And Jake, what about you? I'm sure your travel budget is fully booked.
Yes.
Over the next few months.
We've got heading into the event season, and certainly into the fall. And then in September, we'll do our big event, our full band 23. So that's going to be a major event for our customers. We're really excited about that. You'll hear more about that in the coming weeks. But we're engaging this community has been fantastic. It's a nice position to be in when you have customers that are your biggest advocates, because it makes my job a lot easier. And so we have a lot of good advocate users, customers, and they do the selling for us. So
consider me one.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And used to be the summers were quiet, but now, post-pandemic, there's no quiet period, especially when it comes to AI. Well, look, thank you so much for sharing your vision, and thanks for helping us all work remotely, work from anywhere. And thanks, viewers, for watching. We'll catch you at CCW and beyond. All right, everyone.
Thanks, Evan.